all the way from Africa, and I came by plane. I know, what a show off. Looking like this, I get a lot of hassle at airports, as you can imagine, and they always ask awkward questions. Why are you white in your passport picture? And I'm like, people change. So I called my mom, the boss, and how was I to know the boss would be the wrong answer to the question, who packed your suitcase? And of course, the Europeans came to Africa to civilize us, thank you. So every time I get stopped at a European airport and they ask me, what is the purpose of your visit? I always say civilization. It worked. And this is it, people get so cross. This is a tough time to be an immigrant, right? And the immigrants say, woo! Oh, just me and you. Oh, shit. I'm gonna be nice. But it is crazy because it's a hostile time to be looking like this. And everybody says that immigrants don't integrate. Now my husband is English. I integrate every night. And sometimes I include him. It's crazy. How the hell am I supposed to prove that I integrate? Just carry a big giant pump just saying social cohesion. It's crazy, but I actually love the UK. And you people say, why are all the immigrants coming to the UK? Why does everybody want to come to Britain? Your PR is too good. Now, I was in Africa watching Love Actually with Hugh Grant, right? Right? To me, that's an Englishman. Like, I'll swim across the Now, he can colonize me any day. Seriously, this is why we're coming here, and then we get here, we find Eric Pickles. He should not be a politician. He should be a film star, right? Him and I will come. We will come, seriously. We will come. But it's nice, I love the UK, obviously. I've noticed that since I've been here, I've become a bit more British. I now say British things like, I beg your pardon before I push a lady off her seat. When I was in Waitrose the other day, not shopping, I just like the smell of money. And there was a very posh woman in there, and she leans over to a 2-year-old and says, darling, what would you like for supper? I stopped to listen, because giving a child options is a whole new thing to me. My mother gave me options like, do you want food? And then she would give it to me and shout, don't eat everything! Think of all the obese children in America. Yes! We see you! It works both ways. It works both ways. But you know, growing up in Africa, seriously, growing up in Africa, they teach us no history at all. And I'm serious. All we know is that we got fucked. That's all we know. And so we don't know how we're portrayed by the Western media. And you come here, you're like, fuck! I didn't even know that Africa was poor until I came here and I saw that shit on TV. It's a shock to me. And they're always showing commercials. Like, they'll be saying something like, this is Nkrumah. He's 2 years old. And he's drinking dirty water that's going to kill him. And I'm like, so stop him! Don't just stand there filming him! What kind of people are you? It's crazy. And the thing is, like, people mean well. They do mean well. I don't know if you guys remember this. There's a long-running commercial that says something like, give a man a fish, feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, feed him for life. You guys remember that one? Please stop teaching Africans how to fish. Most of Africa is desert. 60%. Now there's a lot of very frustrated African fishermen in the Sahara. commercials. It's just highly hysterical. Like Oxfam, he's always saying, and I don't mean to these guys do a lot of good work, I think. But but they say things like, we are going to dig another well in Africa. And the Africans are like, Wi-Fi! Please, make it Wi-Fi! Not another well. I don't even know where they get all these guys with flies on their faces. I have grown up in Africa, never had flies all over my face. I ate them. It's incredible. It's truly incredible. But I realize that people here know everything there is to know about the animals in Africa, but fuck all about the African people, right? But that is no accident. It is a collusion by the Western media and the government, somehow for justification of slave trade, colonialism, and the continued exploitation of Africa. But Africans have the power now. This is why we've got all our agents in the streets called traffic wardens. Every time they slap you with that ticket, call it reparations, my friends. But before I came to the UK, I went to the US. Ooh, look at me. I went to America on a student exchange program, which is like a little bit like a hostage situation. We'll take one African, you take our army. Sounds fair. But I'd never been to America, but I knew everything there was to know about America because I'd watched Independence Day. And nothing seriously can prepare an African for America seriously. Because in Africa we have very high expectations of white people. And then you get to America, you're like, shit's wasted. Seriously, because trying to explain to people in America where Kenya is as frustrating as trying to explain to Africans the concept of copyright. Why can I not rename my business the X Factor? I sell tractors. It's really incredible. But I got to see the sights when I was in New York. I went to see the Statue of Liberty. Anyone seen it? Yeah. If you've never seen it, it's pretty awesome. It's this female figure with a headgear, long flowing robes, probably why the French got rid of it, thought he was Muslim. It's true. It's nice, but growing up in Africa, I missed out on some things, not food. I know, that's such a cliche. But the thing that I missed out on was basically sex education. Did you guys do sex education here? So you should be experts at this then. My sex education came from Mills and Boons. Yes, Mills and Boons. Now I'm going to read you an extract from my sex education. Do you want to hear it? Yeah. Now this is what I was reading when I was 15. He gazed longingly into her sea blue eyes, her lips full and inviting. The allure of her perfume sent him wild with desire. Kissing her impatiently, whispering mon amour. They were always French. They were never like from Albania or always French. He had never wanted anyone more like he wanted her now. His strong arms led her to the bed, her legs buckled. He kissed every inch of her body beautifully and slowly. A moan escaped from her dry throat. She could have done with Benelin, really. She could feel his manhood. Oh, the manhood. She could feel the manhood between her thighs, thrusting forward, sweeping her into a sea of desire, riding the waves in perfect union, in ecstasy, together. That was what I was expecting when I was 15, when I fell in love. He was 15 too. Do you know how he would be? Do you want to do it? And I remember the day we had sex so clearly because he looked at me in the eye and told me we had Do you want to hear it? He couldn't see her because the shed had no lights. He didn't want to kiss her because that might cause premature ejaculation. He struggled to tear the nicked condom between his teeth, his right hand fumbling to keep his penis erect. He thrust himself forward, knocking her off the bike shed. When she was up, he felt up her skirt for an opening. He thrust himself in, she said, "Not there."